Hey, Tipo here. Ready for some fun English? Let's go.
Hey. Welcome back to Pod Chill, the place where learning English doesn't make your brain cry. I'm Leo, professional troublemaker, part-time life enthusiast.
And I'm Gwen, here to make sure this podcast still has some educational value.
All right, serious question. How long have you been learning English? 3 years? 5? 10? But when a native speaker talks at full speed, you're just there like, yes, very good.
Trust me, you're not alone. Millions of learners spend thousands of hours studying English. And when real-life conversations happen, boom, brain freeze.
And maybe, just maybe, it's because they're using the wrong methods.
Today, we're diving into the most common mistakes people make when learning English, and how to fix them.
If you want to know, continue to watch till the end. All right, buckle up, let's go.
All right, mistake number 1, memorizing vocabulary in isolation.
Class, today, copy down 50 new words. Memorize them. Test tomorrow. Ah, the flashbacks.
Yeah, we've all been there. Have you ever spent hours writing down endless word lists? Flashcards covering your entire desk? Honestly, it feels productive, right? Watching your vocabulary grow fast.
Yeah, it's like leveling up in a video game. I've memorized 500 words. I'm unstoppable. But then, you actually try to speak, and it's like, apple, eat, good.
Exactly, because our brains don't store words one by one like items in a warehouse. We remember words in context, in real situations.
It's like you know the word kick, sure. But when someone says kick the bucket, you think they're literally kicking a bucket.
So, when you memorize isolated words without real context, it leads to 2 big problems. The first thing is that you forget them quickly. Secondly, even if you remember, you use them wrong, and that gets awkward fast.
I remember back in school, during my English speaking test, I tried to show off my vocabulary knowledge. I said something like, I like swimming because muscles, water, happy. The examiner looked at me like I was an alien.
Yep, you know the words, but they don't come together naturally.
If you're listening and thinking, wait, that's me? Don't worry. Later, we'll show you how to actually lock vocabulary into your brain the right way.
Moving on. Mistake number 2. Grammar first obsession.
Gwen, why does English have 12 tenses? And what in the world is present perfect continuous?
Yep, sounds familiar. A lot of traditional teaching focuses heavily on grammar, rules, exceptions, technicalities. Step by step, one chapter at a time.
It's like back in middle school, when we had to memorize stuff like, if I had, I would have had, and I just lost the will to live.
Exactly. It sounds more like robot language than human communication. And the real issue? Overloading on grammar kills your confidence.
Right. You get stuck thinking about the perfect sentence instead of actually speaking. By the time you figure out the right tense, the conversation's over.
Or worse, you start fearing English because it feels way too complicated.
Have you ever known all the grammar rules? But when you had to speak, your brain just blanked out? If yes, congratulations, you're officially normal.
So, what do you think the next mistake is, Leo?
Many people have difficulty learning English through books, right?
Yeah, and the next mistake is Textbook English versus real English.
Wait. You're telling me the English I learned from textbooks, like, hello, my name is Robert. I am going to the supermarket to purchase groceries, isn't how people actually talk?
Nope. Sorry, Leo. In real life, it's more like, hey, I'm heading to the store. Wanna come?
Wait. No wonder when I spoke, people thought I was acting in an old movie.
Not that dramatic, but close. The truth is, real spoken English is full of slang, idioms, contractions, and it's way more casual than textbook English.
I once tried speaking proper textbook English to a native speaker, and I swear, they looked at me like I just landed from Mars.
Exactly. When you only learn from textbooks, you might sound overly formal, robotic, or just weird.
And worst of all, you might not even understand when people talk naturally. Because real conversations are messy, fast, full of shortcuts.
So later, we'll show you how to actually get used to real English, not the fantasy version. And last mistake for this section, app addiction.
Guilty. Who else here has grinded English apps like crazy? Level 100 on Duolingo? Felt like a champion. But when I traveled to Singapore, I looked at the restaurant menu like it was written in ancient code.
What an unforgettable experience, huh?
It was so embarrassing that I can't forget it. Actually, there's even research about this. A study from Language Learning and Technology Journal found that while apps boost vocabulary, they often fail to improve real-world speaking skills unless combined with live interaction.
Exactly. Apps are great for quick practice. But if you rely only on apps, you miss real conversations. You repeat the same patterns over and over, and your skills grow unevenly.
It's like being amazing at Guitar Hero. But when someone hands you a real guitar, you're just holding it upside down like, help?
Right. In fact, another report by Education First showed that students who used only apps scored significantly lower in real speaking skills, compared to those who practice speaking with real people.
So yeah, apps are awesome sidekicks, but they're not superheroes. Treat them like your assistant, not your whole team.
All right, now that we've roasted the common mistakes, it's time for the good stuff. How do you actually learn English effectively?
Yes, let's cook.
You know, vocabulary feels like this giant mountain at first. So many words, right? But what nobody tells you is the way you collect those words matters a lot more than how many you cram into your brain.
Totally. If you just memorize random words from a list, it's like trying to fill your backpack with water. It leaks immediately.
Exactly. That's why we strongly recommend learning vocabulary through collocations. You know, common word combinations. And through full contexts like sentences or even little paragraphs.
I remember reading this 2019 Cambridge study. They actually found that students who learned vocabulary through phrases remembered 42% more after a month than those who just memorized single words.
That's huge, right? And honestly, it makes sense. Think about the word make. Alone, it's so abstract. But if you learn it with phrases like make a decision, make a mistake, make friends, now you get how it naturally lives and breathes in real conversations.
And you'll start sounding way more natural, too. No more robot English like I made mistake yesterday. You'll actually feel how native speakers move through sentences.
One little trick that really helped me back when I was studying, every new word I learned, I would immediately find at least 2 real sentences using it.
Oh yes. Sometimes I'd even make up a little story. Like, say I learned terrified. Instead of just writing terrified means very scared, I'd imagine, I was terrified when I saw the huge spider on my pillow. I screamed so loud that my neighbor thought I was being attacked. Now terrified is burned into my brain forever.
And it sticks because it's connected to emotions. You're not just processing words, you're living them.
Yeah. And speaking of memory tricks, storytelling is powerful. If you can weave 5 new words into one crazy story, I promise you'll remember them 10 times longer. Your brain loves fun and silly things. Boring stuff, it just forgets it like yesterday's lunch. But if you make the word exciting or weird in your mind, you'll remember it way longer.
Like what?
Like, imagine you're learning the word launch. Instead of just reading it once and yawning, picture a giant sandwich being launched into space by a team of ants wearing tiny astronaut suits.
Cool. Sounds crazy, right? But now, you'll never forget the word launch again.
Yeah, the weirder and funnier you make it, the stickier it gets in your brain. But seriously, start telling stories, not just making boring lists. It feels silly at first, but it works.
And if you're a visual learner like me, try visualizing ridiculous images when you learn new words.
Yeah, like if you're learning chaos, don't just think chaos means mess. Imagine your room exploding with balloons, goats running around, your alarm clock dancing on the table. It's crazy, but that's the point.
That sounds interesting, Leo. Make your memory work for you, not against you.
All right, vocabulary is just the beginning. Now, let's talk about something a lot of learners struggle with. Grammar.
I know, grammar sounds scary, but it doesn't have to be. The trick is to stop treating grammar like a giant rule book you have to memorize.
Instead, you learn it through patterns. Real useful patterns that people actually use when they speak.
Definitely. According to Dr. James Milton's research in 2020, just 20% of common sentence patterns cover about 80% of everyday conversations.
So if you master the basics like, I'm used to, would you mind if, how about we, you're already halfway there.
And honestly, it's way less stressful. Instead of thinking, oh no, past perfect continuous passive voice, you just recognize the pattern and roll with it.
Like think in chunks.
Hey, wait a sec. You might be wondering what exactly are chunks, right? Chunks are natural word combinations that native speakers use all the time.
Yeah, let's take an example. Not he plus past tense verb plus object. No, just he made a mistake.
Or catch a cold. By the way, maybe even take your time. Whole chunk. Whole meaning.
Instead of learning word by word, we learn in phrases. That way, when you speak, it sounds smoother and more natural.
Exactly. It's like music. You don't play note by note. You play full melodies.
And one big mindset shift. Focus on communicating first, polish your grammar later.
Yes. When you were a toddler learning your first language, you weren't worried about getting every tense perfect. You just wanted candy.
Welcome to Real World English. If you only ever study from textbooks, your English will sound like, well, a textbook. You need to soak your brain in real English. Movies with subtitles, podcasts, Instagram captions, news articles.
And it's backed by science too. A study from the University of Helsinki found that students who expose themselves to real English content about 5 hours a week, improved their listening and speaking skills by 67% in just 6 months.
And honestly, it makes total sense. Language isn't just rules, it's rhythm, feeling, culture.
Exactly. Watching Friends or listening to TED Talks teaches you the little things: intonation, slang, jokes, sarcasm, stuff textbooks can never teach you properly.
But of course, balance is key. Don't throw away your grammar books completely.
Right. Use them like your training wheels. Then ride freely with real English once you're confident.
And now, apps. Everyone loves apps these days, right?
Duolingo, Memrise, Quizlet, Babbel, you name it.
Apps are great if you use them the right way.
Right? Don't treat an app like your full school. It's just your assistant, not your professor.
So the app should be your snack, not your main meal.
Yeah, use apps to fix specific weak points like vocabulary recall or quick grammar drills. But don't forget to actually speak, listen, read, and write outside of the app world. Real conversations beat perfect scores on a quiz app any day.
And trust me, nobody ever said, "Wow, your English is amazing. You must be level 24 on Duolingo."
We all know, huh? So to sum it up, learn in chunks, live through context, use grammar patterns, connect with real English, and let apps help, not control you.
So, we've talked about vocabulary, grammar, real-world English, and using apps wisely. But honestly, Gwen, even if you know all that, it still doesn't matter if you're too scared to open your mouth.
Oh yes, the big invisible wall, fear. First thing first, lower your expectations.
Yup. Stop aiming for perfect English. Aim for communication.
I mean, think about it. When you learned your first language as a kid, did you speak it perfectly? Of course not. You made funny mistakes all the time. And nobody cared.
When I was little, I used to say aminal instead of animal. Nobody arrested me for bad vocabulary.
That's adorable. See? Mistakes are natural.
And actually, if you're not making mistakes, it probably means you're not pushing yourself enough.
So, one really practical tip. Start speaking early even when you feel you're not ready. Even if it's just talking to yourself in your room.
Nobody was born fluent. Everyone started to get scared.
We believe in you.
Okay, Gwen, before we send our listeners off to practice like champions, let's break down a few useful words from today's episode.
Yep. These words come up a lot when we talk about learning English, so let's make sure they stick.
First word, chunk. A chunk is a group of words that naturally go together.
Take your time is a common chunk in English. Don't try to learn it word by word. Next is collocation. It's a type of chunk, 2 or more words that often appear together.
Example. We say make a mistake, not do a mistake. That's a collocation. Third word, context. It means the situation or sentence where a word is used.
Example. You remember words better when you learn them in context, like in a short story or a real conversation. Fourth word, fluent. It means speaking a language smoothly and easily.
Example. You don't need perfect grammar to be fluent. You just need to be confident and clear. Last one, real-world English. That's how people actually talk in everyday life, not textbook style.
Example. Wanna grab lunch? Is real-world English. Would you like to have a meal together? Not so much.
Hey, Tipo here. Ready for some fun English? Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Podcast and Chill. This is where learning English feels like chatting with friends. Gwen, our audience loves episodes with learning tips. Today we'll show how to learn English without feeling like you're studying.
It's not about shortcuts. It's about smart learning habits. Many learners find traditional methods stressful.
So friends, let me ask you, have you ever memorized vocabulary for hours, only to forget everything the next day?
Or felt too nervous to speak, even when you knew the grammar perfectly?
What if we told you there's a better way? Today, we'll share 6 simple habits to learn English naturally.
These habits fit perfectly into your daily routine.
No textbooks required, no stressful memorization.
Don't forget to check our free PDF guide in the description.
Let's get started with habit number 1. Okay, team, who here has a study table covered in dust?
Leo, that's not...
Because guess what? You don't need one, like always.
A Cambridge study found we remember better in relaxed environments.
Exactly. Like my bed. Best English classroom ever.
Or anywhere you feel comfortable.
Picture this. You're waiting for coffee, and suddenly, bam, you're learning English.
More accurately, you check your phone in English.
Or when you're zoning out in the shower, that's prime time for English thinking.
The key is consistent exposure, not perfect study conditions.
So, toss those textbooks.
Metaphorically.
All right, hands up if you've ever done this. You buy a fancy notebook labeled English Practice, and after 2 pages, it becomes a doodle book.
That's why we're discussing alternative methods today.
Let me guess, Gwen. Your notebook is perfectly organized?
Actually, no. My cat used it as a bed last week.
Ha! Even Miss Perfect learns outside textbooks. Looks like your cat and my Mr. Whiskers could be good friends.
The point is, learning happens everywhere.
Like when you're stuck in traffic, instead of honking, name car colors in English.
Or while cooking, read recipes aloud in English.
Pro tip: if you burn the food, call it British cuisine.
That's not even remotely true. A 2022 Oxford study found we remember 40% more when learning through daily activities.
See? Science says stop torturing yourself at desks.
The key is making English part of your environment.
Like how my cat made my notebook part of her environment.
Moving on to habit 1 before Leo derails us further.
Habit number 1. Switch your phone to English. The ultimate stealth learning trick. Picture this. You unlock your phone 200 times a day. That's 200 free English lessons without even trying. Gwen, be honest, how many times have you panicked because of this? Why does my weather app say thunderstorm? Is this a warning?
That's literally just the forecast for today.
But see, now Leo knows thunderstorm forever.
A 2023 MIT study confirmed daily tech exposure builds vocabulary 3 times faster.
Real-life benefits you'll notice in 1 week. 1. You'll stop confusing accept and decline on spam calls.
2. Suddenly understand YouTube error messages.
3. Finally know what airplane mode actually means.
Pro tips for beginners. 1. Start with just 3 apps: Weather, Calendar, Notes. 2. Use Screenshot plus Google Translate when really stuck.
3. Celebrate small wins. Understood a notification? Dance break. Fun challenge: take a selfie when you see the camera icon. Post it with hashtag PhoneEnglishAdventure. We might feature you. Warning, may cause temporary confusion between delete and save.
but permanent improvement in tech vocabulary.
Ready for the 5-second challenge? On 3, 2, 1, change now.
Or after the episode, no pressure.
Habit number 2, stalk. Follow English creators. Imagine learning English while watching cat videos. That's not just possible, it's recommended by Harvard.
A 2024 Harvard study actually shows following interest-based content improves pronunciation 27%. 3 creator types you should stalk. OMG Leo actually is follow on YouTube. 1. The easy English type at English Addict.
Teaches slang through pizza reviews. This cheese is lit. 2. The secret teacher. Type at Traveling Mark.
Vlogs about traveling while speaking slowly plus clear subtitles.
3. The funny accident. Type at Fail Army. Oh no! My leg! Best vocabulary for emergencies.
Pro tips 1. Use YouTube's playback speed. Start at 0.75x. 2. Turn on CC plus pause to copy cool phrases.
3. Comment. Even just LOL counts as practice. Fun challenge. Find a creator who looks like your English teacher. Tag us at LearnEnglishPod with hashtag MyDigitalTeacher. Warning, may lead to uncontrollable binge watching.
But also uncontrollable English improvement.
Coming next, Habit 3. Talking to yourself is finally socially acceptable.
Leo, Leo, stop whispering to your coffee. People are staring.
I'm practicing Habit 3. Oh, lovely latte. See? Science says this builds fluency.
The actual Cambridge study says self-talk reduces speaking anxiety and helps internalize grammar naturally. But must you do it in public?
Absolutely. Pro tip, if people think you're on AirPods, you're not crazy.
Here's how normal people do it. 1. Describe your actions while cooking. Now I'm chopping onions, crying.
2. Debate with pets. Mr. Whiskers, 3 a.m. is not playtime. Warning though, you might accidentally confess secrets. Last week I caught myself saying, I totally stole Gwen's stapler.
That's where it went? Anyway, MIT research confirms even 5 minutes daily helps.
Challenge. Record a day in my life voice memo. Best entries get featured. Next up, we'll teach your to-do list to speak English.
Yes, habit number 4 is English to-do lists. Turn daily tasks into learning.
Gwen, guess what? You can learn English just by writing your shopping list.
That's actually correct. A Harvard study shows writing simple English lists improves vocabulary retention by 40%.
See? Even Harvard approves. Now check out my masterpiece. 1. Buy milk. 2. Buy eggs. 3. Don't forget to buy milk again.
That's just the same item repeated, but it's a good start. Why don't we show some practical examples?
Great idea. Here's my morning routine list. 1. Wake up. 2. Try to wake up. 3. Seriously, wake up.
Let's try something more practical. How about 1. Wash dishes. 2. Do laundry. 3. Practice English for 10 minutes.
Boring. Where's the fun? Mine says 1. Dance to English songs. 2. Watch funny cat videos in English. 3. Reward myself with ice cream for being awesome.
Actually, that's not bad. The key is making it enjoyable while learning practical vocabulary.
Exactly. And here's a pro tip. Use your phone's reminder app in English. That way you'll see English every time you check your phone.
That's excellent advice. And for our viewers, try starting with just 3 items per list in simple English.
Challenge time. Today, write your to-do list in English and share it with hashtag English to list.
Remember, small steps lead to big improvements. Happy listing, everyone. Now for habit 5, sticky notes everywhere. Learn English without trying.
Gwen, I've turned my entire apartment into an English textbook.
Let me guess. You labeled everything including your cat?
Mr. Whiskers is now officially the fluffy alarm clock.
While amusing, research shows this passive exposure method helps vocabulary stick 30% better.
See this fridge? It's now my food storage device. And my bed? Dream Production Center.
Maybe start with more practical labels first, like light switch or coffee maker.
But where's the fun in that? I've even labeled my bathroom mirror. Handsome generator.
Focus, Leo. The key is putting notes where you'll see them most. Fridge, computer, front door.
Ooh, what if we make it a game? Every time you see a note, say the word out loud.
That's actually brilliant. It adds active practice to passive learning.
Challenge, take photos of your funniest sticky notes and tag Sticky English.
Just remember, the goal is learning, not redecorating your entire house.
Next up, the secret power of doing chores in English.
Habit number 6. Learn English while doing chores.
Gwen, I just discovered you can become fluent in English while washing dishes.
That's actually backed by science. Passive listening builds language intuition.
Exactly. I've been playing cooking shows while cooking. Yesterday, I learned Zimmer while burning my soup.
While innovative, maybe start with podcasts at 0.75x speed first.
Nah, I prefer singing in the shower. Today's hit, Watermelon Sugar with wrong lyrics.
The point is to make English part of your environment. Try audiobooks while cleaning or news podcasts while folding laundry.
How about this? Every time you hear a new word, use it in a sentence before finishing the chore.
That's actually brilliant active recall practice. Just maybe don't try it with sharp objects.
Challenge time. Tonight, pair one chore with English content and tell us what you learned.
Remember, consistency beats intensity. Even 15 minutes daily makes a difference. Let's review some key phrases from today's episode. Leo, why don't you start with our first phrase?
Sure thing, Gwen. Our first phrase is passive exposure. This means learning without consciously trying, just by being around the language. For example, changing my phone to English gave me passive exposure to tech vocabulary.
Excellent example, Leo. Next, we have neural connections. This refers to pathways your brain creates when you repeat information. For instance, listening to English podcasts daily strengthens my neural connections for the language.
That makes perfect sense. Our third phrase is active recall. This means practicing by retrieving information from memory. Like when I try to remember words from my sticky notes without looking at them.
Exactly right, Leo. Now for consistency beats intensity. This means regular practice is more effective than occasional long sessions. For example, Studying English 20 minutes daily works better than 2 hours once a week.
That's so true. Finally, we have interest-based learning. This means using content you enjoy to learn more effectively. Like when I learned cooking terms by watching baking shows in English.
Perfect example to wrap up our vocabulary review. Now let's discuss some questions about today's topic.
First question, which of these 6 habits do you think is easiest to start with?
For me, switching phone language is simplest. Just one setting change.
But talking to yourself is fun. You can do it anywhere, even in the shower.
Second question, what's your biggest challenge when learning English?
Mine is remembering vocabulary. That's why sticky notes help so much.
For many learners, it's finding time to practice consistently.
Hey listeners, we want to hear your thoughts.
Which habit will you try first? Tell us in the comments.
And what other learning without studying tricks do you use?
We'll feature the best answers in our next episode.
Wow, we've covered all 6 habits. Let's do a quick recap.
Habit 1. Phone in English, your pocket-sized teacher.
Habit 2. Follow creators. Learn from people you actually like.
Habit 3. Talk to yourself. The only conversation where you're always right.
Habit 4. English to-do lists. Productivity meets language learning.
Habit 5. Sticky notes everywhere. Your home becomes a classroom.
And habit 6. Learn while doing chores. Multitasking at its finest.
Now for our golden advice, don't try to do all 6 at once.
Exactly. Pick just 1 to 2 to start. I recommend beginning with your phone language.
Consistency is key. Even 10 minutes daily is better than 1 hour weekly.
And make it fun. If you hate doing it, you won't stick with it. Our final challenge, choose one habit to try this week and tell us about it.
Remember, small steps lead to big results. You've got this.
And if you fail, just blame it on your cat like I do. Kidding, mostly.
That's all for today's episode of Podcast and Chill.
Remember, folks, you don't have to study hard, just study smart.
Try just one habit this week. Small steps lead to big results.
And don't forget to grab your free PDF guide in the description.
Was this episode helpful? Smash that like button so we know.
Comment which habit you're trying first. We read every comment. Until then, keep chilling and learning.